Record. There she is. There's our little voice. All right, welcome to everybody that's on here. I don't know how many of you are on here, but welcome to those of you that have joined. We'll record this, so if you aren't seeing this live, then you can play with us later. Congratulations to all of you for achieving the challenge. I didn't get marinating the chef. I am marinating the chef. It's a true statement. It's Jerry's fault. I blame it all on Jerry. Okay, so we're gonna make today we're gonna make Mexican chicken and rice bowls. We're gonna do it the from scratch version, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. This is not a super fast recipe. We're gonna use all Tupperware because we should, because Tupperware is awesome. So what we're gonna do first is you're gonna take your smart multi-cooker. Okay, you guys haven't used your smart multi-cooker. There's lots of ways you can use it. You can use it to, it has a colander that goes on inside that you can use to steam vegetables. You can steam cook meat and all kinds of awesome things. Actually, it really makes chicken nicely. If you haven't never made, I always get boneless, skinless chicken tenderloins when I do it. They're real thin pieces because they cook faster, because steam cooking isn't fast, but it retains 100% of the nutrients. So it's actually the healthiest way to cook meat if you want to retain your nutrients. Excuse me, I all of a sudden have the hiccups. Today we're gonna make rice. So if you take the colander out and you just use the base, you can make rice with it. I told you guys to grab arborio rice if you have it, because that's my favorite. It's an Italian rice. I'm just gonna tilt this up a little bit, maybe you can see a little bit better. I'm trying to see everything here. This is the one that I like to use. It's kind of a fatter rice grain. I'll see if you guys, I don't know if you can see it very well. There you go. You can use jasmine rice as well. I like this rice. I like how it fattens up too. I know I'm a little bit fussy with, that's like what I like. It's probably bougie rice. I don't know, but I like it. It's a little bit harder to come by, so you have to just be a little more specific about it. I am going to do 1.5 cups of rice. So I'm gonna do 1.5 cups. Eyeball it. Okay, and then we're gonna do let's see how much water it wants. It wants 1.5 cups water, and then we're gonna put some stuff in it. So I'm gonna grab my water there. Okay, so I'm gonna put 1.5 cups of water in here. And then we're gonna put some turmeric. So if you have your turmeric, some of my stuff is in Tupperware spices and some I just got at the store, so it hasn't made it into Tupperware spices yet. So don't judge if you don't see a Tupperware spice container. This means it hasn't made it that far yet. We need a teaspoon of turmeric. So, and this particular recipe is teaspoon heavy, so I'm going to use 2.5 teaspoons just because I'm going to need all the teaspoons I can get at this point. And then so a teaspoon of turmeric in there, and then it needs oh, it also needs the better than bouillon. Hey babe, can you grab me the better than bouillon, the chicken? If you don't have better than bouillon, you can use bouillon cubes. I just like the better than bouillon's a little less salty and it's a little more natural. So I personally like that one a little bit better. I stir it a little bit so the turmeric. This is what makes the rice look like Mexican rice. It's kind of cool, actually. When you know when you go to the restaurant and Mexican rice always looks a little different. Turmeric. And then
how many cubes of
I'm gonna do 2 spoonfuls of chicken better than bouillon. I would probably, that's probably 2 cubes of the bouillon if you're using cubes. See, with the better than bouillon, it's like a really, you've never used it. It's kind of cool.
Is it is it 2 teaspoons or tablespoons of the bouillon? Just like put a teaspoon there?
Well, probably tablespoons. I'm doing big scoops of this. It's like a teaspoon size, but it's of the spoon, but I'm a little wild with it. You don't have to mix it crazy because it will, when it cooks, it will, I've mixed it enough so it's a little bit mixed. The the boiling of it in the microwave will cook it. And then when you're going to use the rice lid, so if you've never used the rice lid on this before, and I don't know, am I spotlighted? Should probably make sure I'm spotlighted so the recording comes through okay. Let's see. I don't even know how to do it in here. Well, we'll just hope. So how you use the rice lid is, if you guys can see this, there's this side and there's this side. Okay, you're going to turn it like this. So this side's up. Okay, and then it just kind of nests in there, and then you take this lid over top. These, you want to line up the sides. So see these sides, you want to line them up with the sides, the handles. And the reason why is when you go to open it, you squeeze and that pops the lid open. If you don't line it up, it's really hard to get the lid off. But this lid's a little tricky when you put it on. So like you have to kind of start at one side. It's a little like an Impressions Bowls lid, you know, you have to kind of love on it a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna actually, you'll hear it kind of pop on, and then you put it in the microwave for 8 minutes on high. If you have a good microwave. If you have a kind of microwave, I might go 9 minutes. I'm gonna go put it in right now. Okay, so while that's cooking, we're gonna make the other stuff. Okay, so we're gonna have all my things here. We're first gonna chop our peppers. So we got poblano peppers or whatever peppers you ended up getting. I don't know. Poblano is what is my favorite. They don't taste like bell peppers. I hate bell peppers. And these are a Mexican one, but they're not quite so hot. They're not hot like jalapenos. Jalapenos light you on fire. So if you want to be lit on fire, throw a bunch of jalapenos in there. But these are a little spicy, but they're not too much. And I just slice them up. Because remember, when you put things in our choppers, you're the motor. There's really no reason to kill yourself. So I stick them in here into this thing, which mine is a Power Chef, but the new version is the Supersonic. So whatever version you have. Supersonic. Is it Supersonic Extra, I think? I don't even know what the name is these days. You like Supersonic? Braxton likes Supersonic, he says. Okay, so we're gonna, yep, you're right. Okay, so we're gonna throw these in here. We're gonna throw on a lid. None of my Tupperware matches. You just have to learn to deal with it. I have lots of fun colors from all my years of, and if somebody is saying something to me in the chat, I'm never probably gonna see it. So you'll probably have to unmute and say it out loud, or somebody else will have to tell me that somebody's saying something. Okay. So I'm going to throw all the peppers in there and just give it a little pull. And then we end up with chopped peppers, just like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by cooking it in the micro grill. I'm going to put the silicone ring in because I want to keep it all in one place. Let me grab a spatula. Hold on. So I want to, so the thing about the micro grill, if you haven't used it before, is that it has like a little moat around the edge. And the moat is, that's where it's like made to catch juices and stuff, but it doesn't, not cooking in the moat really. So I'm trying to keep everything on the cooking surface. So I'm going to stick mine in the silicone ring. If you don't have a silicone ring, that's okay. Just try to keep it as close to the middle as you can get. There's no perfect size. Some people like their peppers a little bigger. I tend to chop them smaller. I like the idea of peppers, not necessarily the reality. So smaller they are, the more they blend into the food. I'm a picky eater. You'll come to appreciate about me. And so I never make anything weird. That's the other thing. And these don't make it weird. I'm gonna put a little garlic salt on here. Regular salt is fine too. I don't know if I told you guys to have garlic salt, but it could be regular salt. It's fine. A little pepper. If I was cooking, if you don't have a micro grill and you're like, how do I cook these? You can throw them in a pan. You just need a little bit of, I would throw a little bit of oil on the pan, just a little bit. I don't in the micro grill, but I would in And then I'm gonna stick the lid on like this. And I'm gonna stick them in the microwave for 5 minutes on high, but it won't be done at that point. I have 2 microwaves. So if your rice is still going and you don't have 2 microwaves, sorry about that. But I'm gonna put this in the
Not
microwave.
everyone has 2 microwaves, you
I
know.
know. I added 2 in my collection. But as soon as your other microwave beeps, I'm gonna go on to making something else. As soon as your microwave beeps with the rice, you can throw this in while I'm talking and doing other stuff.
Oh, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You cheated. You're a cheater.
I mean, listen, you can get a microwave for $80 on Bed Bath & Beyond. It's worth it.
We don't have room.
We're
I
hungry
just
over
literally
here.
bought a little baby one and threw it on my counter, and now I have 2.
This is my counter space.
I know.
Is it?
We're gonna solve that problem, Missy. Okay, so now we're gonna make some Tex-Mex paste while that stuff cooks. And you can, when your rice beeps, it just sits. So once it beeps, you can throw the other thing in for 5 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to make some Tex-Mex paste. So here's what we're going to do for Tex-Mex paste. So let me get a bowl. All right, so we're gonna put Alexa, how many tablespoons is 3 teaspoons?
2 teaspoons is not a tablespoon.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we're gonna put a tablespoon of chili powder in. Let's see what we got here. Tablespoon of chili powder. If you want to know, the half of a tablespoon of a Tupperware tablespoon, even though this is an old one, but the newer ones it would even work with. I think I have those in here too. I have like 6 sets of teaspoon. Half of a tablespoon will go down into our measuring cups, and then you can level them off on the top, which I love. So if it calls for a tablespoon, a lot of times, I just made everybody's. Okay, that's funny. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon of chili powder in here. And then 1.5 teaspoons of coriander powder. If you don't have that one, just omit it. I didn't have it yesterday when I did my dry run, and it all tasted just fine. But it's part of the recipe, so I had it Instacarted, so we're gonna throw it in today's. But obviously, if we ate it yesterday, Kurt said it was amazing. He actually raved about it. He loved it. He liked this version of it the best of any version I've made, and I've been making this for a while, just slightly differently. So interesting things you learn, I say. Okay, so we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of coriander. So, not that one. The half goes in here, but yeah. We're making a Tex-Mex paste is what we're making. 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. I happen to have smoked paprika. That's what I used yesterday, and it worked great. So that's what we're using today. I think this just has a little bit of flavor where regular paprika doesn't have that much flavor, but don't care.
Did you say teaspoons or tablespoons?
Teaspoons, 1.5 teaspoons of paprika. And then 1.5 teaspoons. See, I'm telling you, this recipe is like so many teaspoons. 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. I had to get new garlic powder because I ran out yesterday. So, and this is my favorite brand of spice, is the Simply Organic. I don't know if you guys have that in your world, but I really like their spice. FYI, if I'm not buying it in the bulk. And ever since, I don't even know if they even have bulk anymore since COVID. I used to only buy in the bulk a lot, but if I'm buying a brand, this is my favorite brand. I especially like their garlic salt. It's better than the others. I don't really even know why. But when I make salsa for my kids, and it requires garlic salt, if I make it with any different brand of garlic salt, they tell me it tastes funny. They always want this brand. So somehow they've got their little palates have gotten accustomed to the, I mean, apparently they have bougie little palates, who knows? Let's see what we got here.
Did you say 5 minutes for the peppers?
Yeah, and then when it comes out, we're gonna stir it and stick it back in for another 5 minutes. Just FYI. Mine isn't done yet though. Here we go, half a teaspoon. So we're doing 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. And then 1.5 teaspoons. Everything is 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. Oh, there goes my beeper. Hold on. Okay, so here's my peppers. They're not fully cooked, they're just starting to cook. And I like them to be, where's my spatula? There it goes. I like them to be a little more crispy cooked. So this is just kind of soggy cooked. We can't be having that. So we're gonna kind of move them around a little bit. I'll probably douse them with a little bit more salt and pepper now that I've moved them around a little bit. Yeah, garlic salt or garlic salt. Then I'm going to put them in for another 5 minutes on high. Because my rice is beeping. We'll check the rice in a second. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see how the rice does. So you squeeze on the sides like this, and it pops up. Stay back or you'll get a facial. You only get burned by that once. And ooh, look at the touch. Oh yeah, look at that rice. And then you're gonna give it kind of a fluff. So grab a fork and kind of just fluff it a little bit. See it coming alive. I'm going to, I'm not sure if it's needs a little bit more. So I'm gonna give it half a cup of water and 3 minutes more. And I'm gonna pour the half a cup of water in and then give it a really good stir. I'm gonna go put it back in for 3 more minutes. It needs more. Mine's a little crunchy. I was messing with it yesterday and then I forgot to write down exactly what I did. Shocker, I know. But so we'll let that rice cook for a little bit more. We'll see how it is in 3 minutes. Okay, so back to this. Oh, now we need to put, so we put the 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. Now we need 6 teaspoons, which would be 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. So you just want some like baking cocoa, basically. Baking chocolate. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons. This gives it a really
2 tablespoons.
yeah, really
Sorry.
rich. This gives us a really rich color. And now I like to mix the spices a little bit so that it's really good and mixed up before we add the wet ingredients. Otherwise, sometimes when you add the wet ingredients, if you don't mix the spices first, spices get kind of clumped up in one spot. And I want them to be a good mix. So now we're going to add that chili paste that you guys had all the discussions about. So we're going to add chili paste, and it wants 4.5 teaspoons, which would be, well, it doesn't really matter what it would be. Let's see.
The funny thing is, I ended up having chili paste in my cabinet. I guess my daughter had bought it. I was like,
You
oh,
actually
I
have
own
it?
it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I actually had to buy it because this is a HelloFresh recipe that I've made many times, but this earlier today was the first time I'd made it from scratch myself, and it always comes with Tex-Mex paste. So I had to look up how to make Tex-Mex paste because it usually comes in a little packet. So I made it yesterday, but so that's part of it was a little bit new to me. It was so good yesterday. Kirk actually liked it better than, he loves the HelloFresh, but he actually liked it better than the HelloFresh. So he liked the homemade. Sometimes the homemade sauces are even better, if you will. So you guys are getting the like full on homemade on this trip. So we're gonna do 4.5 teaspoons of this chili paste.
If we don't have chili paste, can we do something? I
Just
forgot?
ignore it. If you don't have chili paste, ignore it. I made it yesterday with no coriander and no chili paste, and it was good. So there you have it. I don't worry about it. And then vinegar. You got your vinegar? So my vinegar is a white wine vinegar. The recipe said, I think it said rice vinegar, but white wine's what I had and what I used yesterday, and it was good. So we're gonna do 4.5 teaspoons of vinegar. I mess a lot too, in case you notice. Looks good. Okay, 4.5 teaspoons of vinegar. We're gonna do a tablespoon of onion powder. The original recipe had onions in it. I don't like onions. I only have onion powder. Welcome to the picky version of this recipe. That works quite well. We have nobody trying to buy into a nasty onion. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, here we go. 4 ounces. Let's see. Oh, then we need 5 teaspoons of tomato paste. Let me grab my tomato paste. Meanwhile, let's check this out. Let's see how we got. Oh yeah, this was better. Let's go ahead and let's do 5 more minutes. Stir it up really good. Let's do 5 more minutes because they're not crispy enough. I'm gonna put it back in the microwave for 5 more minutes. It just means that this was toast, but they'll call it down some too, so it's fine. I'm gonna check the rice now and see how it's doing. No, it needs a little bit more. Let's do another 1/2 cup of water, and we'll do 4 minutes this time.
This is a reminder. Braxton off bus.
Alexa, stop. Just give it a really good stir. We're gonna do 4 more minutes. If I'm going to check your rice. This last round I put in I have 2 microwaves, and one of them is less powerful than the other, so one cooks a little faster. And it was in the less powerful microwave, so depending on what microwave you're using, you might have different. Just take a little taste of it, and if it's not soft and it's crunchy, it needs to go in for a little longer, but just add a little water. Okay, so back to our Tex-Mex paste here. We're gonna do our 5 teaspoons-ish. I like the squirt tomato paste. We're gonna do tomato paste. because I find it to be easy because you can squirt and then just kind of dump. 2. It's way easier to manage.
How many are we doing again?
4,
Sorry.
5 teaspoons.
I'm sorry to keep bothering.
Oh, you're fine. I told you I go fast. You can always ask. It's all right. So 5 teaspoons of paste. And then we're going to grab some peeled garlic, which I have some of. I buy mine like this. I buy it and this is the lazy man's version. You can buy it and hold on just a second. I want to check something. I buy it and it comes in little packets and it's already peeled because it's fast. Plus I like garlic, so if I get a little extra garlic in there, I'm not sad. So I'm gonna grab the Speedy Mando. Do you all have the Speedy Mando? It's the best garlic cutter thingamajigger ever. So I'm gonna throw it in here. I'm gonna throw the garlic in here. I'll probably throw like 5 or 6 cloves. I don't know. I'm kind of generous with garlic. You can never have too much garlic, really. You might have bad parts later, but it's not my problem, right? Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll do a little more, maybe 7 or 8. Maybe I'm feeling a little wild today. Okay, so they're on here like this. Throw them in there in the Speedy Mando, right? Put my little thing on. You've seen my TikToks about this, right? This is the best. Put it on right here. You can stick it right over top of a bowl or something, right? And then just go. And it'll just grate the garlic right into what you're doing. It's the best. Okay, so we did a little Speedy Mando. Gonna marinate the stuff a little bit more. Then I got my garlic in there. Now I'm just gonna stir this up. Okay. Nice. Mine's nice and pasty. How's you guys? Is it nice and pasty? Kind of a dry paste.
Can I put like water in it to make it a little pasty?
I know. I was thinking that mine's a little pasty. I might put a little bit of water on it. Yeah. Just to give it a little bit of. It's not going to mix as well. I'm going to put a little water in mine. Maybe like, I'm going to put a half a cup of water. Let's see how that, we'll just see what that does. Oh yeah, this is better. Making it, we're turning it into mud. It's perfect. Every child's dream. Okay, here we go. So we're making our Tex-Mex paste. We're turning it into mud. Look at that. So good. That's actually gonna taste so good on your chicken. Can I just say? Okay. All right, my paste is done. I'm gonna go grab my things in the microwave. All my stuff is beeping. Let's check this. Stay back and get a personal. All right, here we go. Woo. But I would say stay to the very end because I have it on high authority. There might be a fun challenge. Plus, you got to see how the food turns out, right? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Ooh, this rice looks good. Look at that. It's like seriously giving me a facial right now, but let's see. Oh yeah, way better, softer. Okay, there's our rice. I'm gonna put the lid back on so it stays hot. The only thing, well, actually, not just kidding. You want to put, it's 2. 2 tablespoons of butter into it, and then shut the lid. And that settles the recipe. And it makes it just a little smoother. So we're gonna put 2 tablespoons butter in there. And then I'm gonna put the lid on and let it just melt, and I'll come back and stir it in a little bit. I'm gonna put the lid on just to keep it hot. All right. Okay, so there's the butter. So there's that. I'm gonna go get the peppers. Okay, here we go. See how these peppers are doing, shall we? The butter we're done with. Here it sits like that, so. Oh yeah, you hear that? Sizzle, can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone. I can hear it, that's what I wanted to hear. Then it's cooking, and that's what I wanted. You're gonna take the peppers out and just throw them in a little bowl or something off to the side for now. Grab mine. It's a little bit hot, so I'm gonna put it in here. It's okay if you don't get all the peppers off because we're gonna eventually mix it all anyway, but most of the peppers off so I can cook the chicken. Okay, so now we're gonna use those to cook the chicken. So you have your cubed chicken you wanna pull out. I did mine the lazy way and I bought it cubed because, well, I didn't want to have to mess with it. Normally I would actually cube it myself, but not this time. We're gonna dump this back on. I'm gonna put the silicone ring back on to just initially to try to keep the bulk of the chicken on the cooking part. We're going to dump that chicken down into the silicone ring. So it's just cubed chicken, guys. Then pull that chicken, cook well in there. Southwest, totally. Let's see, double check. Yes, so we're gonna put a tablespoon of Southwest Chipotle on it right now. Hopefully you all made yourself some Southwest.
Well, I don't know. It's spicy.
Try to stir it a little bit. See if we can stir it. More on. We'll put more on a little bit, but for now we'll put that on. What?
Hey.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna put the lid on so that the lid is, you know, you can put the lid on the microwave grill so you can turn it one way so it's not touching and one way so it is touching. We're gonna make ours touch. And I'm gonna put it in for 5 minutes on high. It's gonna cook really well because it's already good and hot, so it's not warming up. Okay, how's everybody doing? Are you keeping up with me? Am I going too fast for you?
Still waiting for my peppers to cook so I can put my chicken in. Or, you know, one microwave problem, sorry.
I know. I know. I got one microwave problem, but that sounds like one of those.
How long was the chicken cooked for? I was,
What? The chicken, I'm putting it in for 5 minutes to start. I'm gonna take a second here and I'm gonna stir the rice. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit of salt and pepper on it. Yeah, a little bit of salt and pepper. Oh, the pepper's going up my nose. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, hold on. Phew, excuse me. Let's stop it, Jones. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put the lid back on. That's good and stirred. Now it's ready to just wait until it's time to make dinner. So we'll leave this over here. Now, while we're waiting, we're gonna make some salsa stuff for the top. Oh, hey, can you do something for me? Can you get me some sour cream? There's pockets of them in S1. I think I used all the ones in there. That's not sour cream, that's red pepper sour cream. The regular sour cream. Okay, so we're gonna oh, I'm gonna sneeze again. That pepper is getting me. Hold on. You're just kidding. It's done now. Oh no, here it comes again. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, so I pre-washed my sure. Probably like 2 more, 2 or 3, maybe 3. Okay, so we got my green onions. Okay, you're gonna cut the ends off the green onions. Did I tell you guys to bring these ingredients? I hope I did. Cut the ends off, and then you're gonna thank you, sweetheart. And then you're gonna just slice the whites. I tend to line up 2 whites at the same time so I can slice across both of them because it just is faster. And yes, I'm using my professional series Tupperware knives that you don't have access to right now, so be jealous, be very jealous. When you see them come out, you should get your hands on them because they're amazing. They're culinary level knives. So they're up a notch to the ones in the catalog are great. They're everyday knives. These are culinary level. So these are up another notch. So they come out every so often. These ones are called pure knives. And when you get the opportunity to get them, you should. So I'm gonna cut the whites. And then when we get down, when you cut down to where it gets to kind of the green part, then you're gonna leave the whites on one side of the cutting. And then over here, a little bit more this way. We'll make a pile of the greens because we use the green to sprinkle on top for those that want it. Like my husband loves the green onions sprinkled on the top of a cooked meal. So I'm gonna just cut the greens over here on the side. Like that. So I've got a pile of white and a pile of green, if you can see that. Hold on one second. Okay, so now we're gonna cut up the tomatoes. So we're gonna make, if we're making kind of like a little bit of a salsa, it's not my salsa recipe, it's this HelloFresh one, but it's what works really good on this particular recipe. So I'm gonna get myself the Clearly Elegant bowl in just a second here. We're gonna put salsa in that. Ooh, this is a juicy tomato. You get to hear all of the things going on in my world as well. My husband on the phone and Braxton gaming with a friend and JC gaming in the other room. It's never quiet in my house. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab a bowl. So we're gonna throw the white part of the green onion in this bowl. And I think that my chicken just beeped, so I'm gonna go grab my chicken. Stir it up, add some more stuff to it. Cooking it, so hold on. I will say these stay cool microphone handles only stay cool when I cook one time. You keep cooking, they don't stay so cool. Oh, okay, so we're gonna ditch the silicone ring now because we've gotten the bulk of what we need out of it. Put it over here. I'm gonna kind of chop at this a little bit. Chicken pie. Okay, here we go. That cooking up so nicely. Try to kind of turn it so that most of the, there we go. And then we're gonna do another tablespoon of Southwest Chipotle on it. Okay, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna stick it back on the way that it touches it and cooks. And we're gonna do another 5 minutes. We're gonna go back to our salsa. Anybody have any questions so far? You doing okay? I know you're all muted, but I check in case anybody wants to unmute and ask a question.
Do the white onions go in with the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all going into, we're making a salsa bowl basically. With the white onions and the tomatoes. And then we're gonna do some lime juice and some salt and pepper. I'm using the lemon, I'm gonna use the lemon lime, the zestim press, but if you don't have that, I think it's not in the current catalog. You could use the all-in-one mate to juice your lime if you need to. Oh, speaking of, where's my lime? Can you grab me a lime, babe? I thought I had one. Thank you. This mic is a little mushy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, you know what I forgot to put in the, that's why it was dry. I forgot to put, we gotta put the chilies in our Tex-Mex paste. All of a sudden I'm like, I did something else yesterday. I just totally forgot to put the chilies in, so we're gonna do that next. Don't you worry. If you have people in your house that don't like salsa, it's okay. People that do can put this on top, and the people that don't have to. Like, I personally wouldn't eat this salsa, but my boys and my husband love it. So, yeah. Kind of fussy about my salsa. I actually really just like the salsa juice part, not the chunks. Okay, we're gonna add a little salt and pepper to this. How much? I don't know. Just some. Then we're going to, so you have your lime. We're gonna zest it first. Go in another bowl. So we're gonna zest it first. So if you have the lemon, the zest and press, it's my favorite version. So you just grab it like this, grab your lime, and I'm just gonna get all the zest off the top. Basically take the skin off the lime. Kirk said it made the sour cream amazing. If you hate limes, sorry about that, but it does kind of make this amazing. Very fresh, and I don't think it tastes fresh. Feel good. I think, you know, it's fresh fruit, so it's good for you too. Why is it that whenever I cook, my face instantly like itches and I feel like I need to itch because I'm not supposed to touch my face? It's like a brain thing, right? Like my face just immediately itches nonstop. Doesn't itch if I'm not supposed to touch my face. Why is that? Okay, so I got all of this in here. So as you can see all the zest, all that. I'm gonna dump that into this bowl. Okay, and then hold on just a sec. Wash my hands. Okay, now we're gonna take our lime and cut it in half. And half of the juice is gonna go into, if your lime is too big for this, it's always okay. I do this often to quarter it. Because just to get all of the juice out well, because sometimes if the lime is a little bit too big, it just kind of makes a mess. So I'm gonna do a quarter at a time because this lime's a little bit on the bigger side. Keeps it from squirting everywhere too. So I'm just gonna put a quarter in at a time. Hope I hear my chicken beeping. Hold on. Get my chicken, pull that back. See how this chicken is looking, so and marinate the chef a little. All right, here we go. Yes, look at that. So here's gonna be my cheeks. So if you'll notice, and you're just probably doing this at your house too. I'm all about the cheeks. So notice there's a lot of juice. See all the juice that's in there? It's all natural chicken flavor, and I don't want to lose that. So what I'm gonna do is I do a little shredding, just because if I shred this chicken, it will absorb all that juice and I'll have a whole bunch more flavor and moisture chicken back in my meal. So I just got my little baby one, and I just put some chicken in there. See that? I'm gonna put this down like this. And then I'm gonna just how beautifully that shreds chicken. Isn't that crazy? So I'm gonna shred chicken and I'm just gonna throw it back in here shredded. You watch what it does. You're gonna be like, wait, what? That's so cool. So I'm gonna throw chicken in here.
So you're shredding the just little bits of chicken and throwing back in, not juice, right? Okay.
Yep, nope, just not the juice, because what will happen is, as you throw the shredded chicken back in, the juice will just absorb up into the shreds. It's really cool. So we're gonna just throw chicken in there until it's all shredded. It doesn't take but just a minute. It's pretty fast. Anybody have any questions about this? You guys are awfully quiet. Is it because you're furiously cooking? Okay, so. This is one of my family, one of my boys' favorite. No matter how much of this I make, it's never enough. They'll eat it all up and they'll want more. Like I could double it, I triple it, and they still always eat it. So it's one of those kind of recipes. It's just never, nobody's ever said about. You know, I guess unless you're a vegetarian, then maybe you would decide. But I suppose you could do some. Was that chicken tofu or what? I don't know, whatever that stuff is that you eat that's in place of meat, you could do that here. It's like, there's a name for it. I don't know what it's called. It's like, I can't remember. It's the chicken version.
Impossible chicken?
No, that's not it. That's the burger.
There's impossible chicken burgers too.
Okay, well, that's not it.
It was built to time.
Turkey is it's turkey. What's the chicken? I can't. I get it right now. She used to be vegetarian.
If I was doing this vegetarian, I'd use the Morningstar chicken strips.
Okay, that's what I asked for. So you'll notice as you're putting this in, it's like the juice is just going away because it's all going up into the chicken, which is making for a much more flavorful and moist chicken. So it's kind of a win-win. So you don't lose any of the flavor, because otherwise what happens is you're losing a whole bunch of the flavor, and you don't want to do that. This is kind of a cheat, basically. I'm teaching you a cheat. Okay, so let's see. And then we're gonna add, oh yeah, we need to get our can opener, that's what it is, out. And we're going to, you can, honey, it's all right. I have diced green chilies. I'm getting warm in my kitchen. It's warm in here. Yeah, I'm not getting hot. I'm gonna open the diced chilies, and then I'm gonna give them a chop too. So I'm gonna throw them in. There we go. And if you guys don't know, this is an older version of the can opener, but they work the same. You open it, and then there's little jaws on the side. The little jaws. You take the jaws and you grab, I can do this up close so you can see it. You grab the edge of the can with the jaws and you pull. And you can just pull the lid off right there, and then you can just walk over to the trash and drop it. And then because this doesn't actually cut the seal, because it just breaks the seal, the can opener actually never gets dirty, so you don't have to wash it, which is kind of cool. Although I probably still would if I was using it. Somebody asked me if I would do that if I was using it for dog food, and I was like, yeah, I would, even though it doesn't touch it, it would just, I'd probably have a separate can opener for cat food and dog food, let's be real. I don't think I could emotionally do it. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so I put the chilies back in my little chop and prep, or now called the supersonic baby. I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's just a supersonic. I just want to obliterate it so that we don't have diced. We just have kind of like gooey chilies. And so I'm gonna throw the gooey chilies into my Tex-Mex paste. That was the piece I didn't make. That's why it was so dry, Kim. Because I forgot to do that part. That would have made it much more moist, but that's okay. We have a little more liquidy version of it. That is okay. I don't think any of this hurts anything. Okay. Plus, I improvise while I cook all the time. So, okay, so now we're gonna stir this into the Tex-Mex paste. Look at that, beautiful. Looks like mud. All right, here we go. Smells really good though. It's gonna add amazing flavor. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this into the chicken, the shredded chicken.
The chicken for,
What?
how long did you cook the chicken for in total?
I did 5 minutes and 5 minutes.
Okay. I caught up. I'm just,
Oh, you're
Making-
totally fine. You're fine. And then I shredded it. So I did 5 minutes and 5 minutes, and then I shredded it and put it back in some juice. Now I'm adding the Tex-Mex paste and the cooked peppers into it. Making this kind of goo, if you will. So now we're doing Tex-Mex paste and peppers. I'll get a little closer to the camera. But I made a mess everywhere, so it's hard to get too close. Can you guys see okay? That's what you can.
You put the Tex-Mex on top of all the shredded chicken. That's what
Yep,
that
and
is.
I'm just, yep, and the Tex-Mex and then the peppers, the grilled peppers. And now I'm just stirring it all in. Just gonna kind of mix it. I'm gonna go get my other little mixer. A little faster if I do it. Two-handed, I think. Just trying to get all the chicken stirred so that it has goo on it, if you will. I think this is the last. Pretty much, we're almost done. I went faster the second time. Yesterday I was a little slower. Today I'm moving quicker. Certainly not because I've had a lot of sleep. Good Lord. Okay, let's see. Maybe double check if anything else I need to add to it. Okay, so we're gonna put the lid on again so that it's touching because we're wanting to cook this. So everybody caught up pretty much with me? How you doing? I'm gonna put it on like this and I'm gonna put it in for 5 minutes. Maybe next time when I do a cooking class with you guys, we'll do a fun, easy one. This is not too much. I mean, it's not hard, but it's definitely a little more labor intensive, but it's going to be so delicious and so fresh and so homemade. So that's kind of amazing. Okay, so back to what we were doing here. So I'm putting half of the lime into the salsa and the other half into this bowl with the zest. So if you see me doing that, I have 2 bowls. Half a lime goes into each. The one bowl has all the zest and half the lime. The other bowl just has half. It's got the salsa and half the lime. I'm gonna put some sour cream in there. How much sour cream is this? About 6 ounces of sour cream, so whatever that is. I also usually have, just FYI, kind of a kitchen trick. I usually have one dirty bowl that I throw all of the, if I have packaging or anything that as I'm going, I throw the packaging into. So I can just walk over to the garbage when I'm done, I take the bowl and dump it out. It just makes for a easier, less messy cleanup, even though I'm pretty messy, but that's one of the things I usually do. So I have this empty bowl from the Tex-Mex. I'm just putting all of these sour cream packets I have. The reason why I have sour cream in packets is these are left over from HelloFresh I didn't use, and so they're older than the sour cream container I have in the fridge, so we're just using the packets to use them up. Sometimes I don't. And they always come from HelloFresh in these little packets, so sometimes I don't use all of the.
How long did you put the chicken after you mix it?
5 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm just gonna mix up this lime juice and lime zest and sour cream, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. Maybe. Adding a little bit of salt and pepper. So it kind of looks like that. Can you see it? Oh, I just thought there was a question, but it went by too fast. Lisa, do you want to unmute and ask me the question?
Yeah, I was just asking, if the dry ingredients of the spice mixture that was used, in the beginning, would that be something that maybe, would be good to pre-mix a larger quantity and maybe store in a dry, container?
You totally
to
could,
use it
and they just add
in-
the wet ingredients. Sure. If you're gonna make Tex-Mex often, that would be a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can't buy Tex-Mex paste. So if you want to make the paste, you have to make it. So that's the trick. And it's really good. I find that it really flavors stuff nicely. So I use it a lot, actually. But you're right, it would be, if you were going to use it a lot, it's really good. Any kind of, like, you could season. I have made flautas. Have you guys made flautas before? So you put meat and seasoned meat, and then you put them inside of a flour tortilla and roll it. I dust the outside of the flour tortilla with a little bit of olive oil, and then roll it, lay them out, and then bake them, and they get crunchy. And then I put a little cheese over the top of them and a little salsa. And I like to use Tex-Mex when I'm doing the seasoning for that meat as well. I'll do, usually my two go-tos are Southwest Chipotle and Tex-Mex. That's my two faves. I love our Southwest Chipotle seasoning. I was actually really sad when they stopped making it, and I loved it when they gave us the recipe for it. So something fun that you can do, I would recommend, like, I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to sell you on anything right now. I'm just cooking with you and having fun. But if you were doing this live or doing this for customers, you would really talk heavily on the Southwest Chipotle. Don't give them the recipe for it, but then tell them if they buy blah, 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 you'll include a large spice shaker. You'll pop them in the middle, large spice shaker with the Southwest Chipotle pre-made and the ingredients for it. Then they would really want to buy whatever it was. I would make them buy a Get It All set to get that from me, like personally, because then they're going to buy the Get It All set to get your exclusives, and just hype up the Southwest Chipotle the whole time about how amazing it is. Honestly, it is amazing. It's my favorite. I have been using it for probably the better part of 10 years. So it's not new to my repertoire. I added the Tex-Mex later on, but love the Southwest Chipotle. But that's a fun way to do something that, like, something that customers can't get elsewhere, basically. And Southwest Chipotle, I'm sorry, not Southwest Chipotle. Large spice containers are easy to get and not very expensive. What are they, $4 or $5 each at retail? So what is your cost on that? $3 maybe, $3, $4? So for a $3 to $4 spend, if you buy your spices in bulk, so they're inexpensive, then you could really make that easily. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. And my chicken is just about done, I think. Huh? Okay, so let's look at this chicken and see how it's doing. Oh yeah, yes, look at it. See that? So good. Okay, need to get a spoon, so hold on. Okay, so we're gonna have a dish out of a bowl so you can see how we do it. And I'm gonna grab some hot sauce. Hold on. the brand of hot sauce we use in our house. Cholula. Cholula. I don't know if that's how you say it, but probably have to roll the tongue somehow, and I'm not doing it, but okay, here we go. Brand new bottle. So we're just gonna get our rice. Hey, Will, are you ready to eat? Okay, so we're gonna grab our rice, throw some in the pan, right? And then we're gonna grab our chicken. Oh, it looks so good. A generous portion on top. Then we're gonna add some salsa. Pop. And then we're gonna add some sour cream. And then we're gonna douse it with a little bit of hot sauce. We're gonna deliver it to our favorite cook. Just picked up lots of prizes. He's shipping prizes to you right now. You got my love.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions about that before we move on? Is there any questions? How you guys doing? Am I still ahead of you? Yes, no, maybe. I'm gonna give you a second and let's see if you have any questions while I just have a couple bowls for my boys. Is Peyton here? Okay, and then I'll
Recommend what the-
we find out. And then I will turn the recording off and give you guys a fun challenge. But first, I want to hear if there's any questions. Okay. Anyone
When you
have
get-
questions?
Kirsten, this is Lisa. When you get one plated, could you kind of hold it up and so
Oh, sure.
we can take a screenshot of it?
Absolutely. No, I can do one more. I have an idea for another cooking fun thing. Did you guys have fun today? Is this fun? You guys enjoying yourself?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, good. I have an idea for another. I'm thinking about doing another cooking extravaganza, but making it some kind of competition where maybe the number one gets to fly in and do it with me personally or something fun like that. Would that be fun? Yes, no, maybe. That's what it looks like. I'll pause. So if you want to take a screenshot, you can. Has everybody got their picture? I got permagran, so.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, and I forgot to do this on Kirk's. I'll do it on this one. I sprinkle a little bit of green. I guess I need to hold it up again because I sprinkle a little bit of green onions on the top. We'll do it again so it's prettier. I gotta go stick them. I gotta stick some on Kirk's too. Hold on just a second. He's gonna be all sad. Hey, where's mine? I'm gonna go deliver this to my son. I'll be right back. Hold on. Whoops, put it down. All right. I'm gonna mess down here on the floor. Splattered something, so you two can cook. Just like me. I can make mess anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to, nobody has any questions. I'm gonna turn off the recording for a second. And then, hold on. Let's see if I can record.